Hi, grade fours. So I'm sending out this message today because I thought it would be nice if you guys heard a little bit about this weekly goals that I posted directly from me. So I'm doing this morning, so I'm going to go through it as much as I can. So I posted this today, and I will be posting something similar to this each week. And it will be just kind of a place that you can go and your parents can go, and everything is kind of laid out as simply as I can. So there's one place that you guys can go to look at all this stuff. So first of all, this is just the title page here. If you go on to the next slide, you get the table of contents, and I've linked all of the table of contents, so if you click on a particular area, it will take you directly to that page. Okay, so for instance, if you wanted to learn about student learning during COVID, you would click onto that page and it would bring you to that page. Okay, so obviously we all know that in-school classes are canceled right now, but we're going to continue learning online the best we can. So what you guys most importantly need to know is that we have been told by the Alberta government that we need to assign an average of 5 hours of student work per week. Okay, so that doesn't include the time that we meet up and I instruct you guys. That doesn't include that, but I have to give you guys at least 5 hours of homework a week, and that's by law. I'm sorry, guys. But how they're splitting it up. So there's 2 hours of LA. Okay, so that's writing, reading. Okay, 2 hours of math a week, and then 30 minutes of social and science a week. So we're going to go to the next slide here. So the next two slides are on online literacy and online numeracy. So these are kind of ongoing things. So each week, these are things that you can do all the time if you have some free time. You can go on Raz Kids, you can go on Brain Pop, you can go on Read Theory. Just like for numeracy, you can go to these websites to maybe get a different explanation, extra practice with a concept. Obviously Mathletics I will still be using quite often and assigning specific tasks, but that doesn't mean you can't go in and review old materials on your own. Okay, so those are things that you guys can be doing all the time. Okay, next, so this is our weekly snapshot. So obviously right now it's kind of empty. This week is a soft start. Okay, so for today, for Monday and for Tuesday, for tomorrow, we're kind of keeping it as a soft start. We're making sure right now that everyone has access to technology and that can access these tools that I've given you guys. So it says optional tasks for today. That doesn't mean you don't have to do them at all. It just means that maybe you don't finish it today. Maybe you start it, maybe you look at it, maybe you wrap your head around it, right? But maybe you haven't actually fully delve into it. So quickly here on the left, we see our Google Meet schedule. So today is our first Google Meet. I'm excited to see you guys all at 1:30. And then tomorrow, we're gonna go a little bit more into detail and have another Google Meet about some just other things that come up. Okay, I have some important dates coming up this month. So April Fool's Day, this Wednesday is April 1st. So I'm challenging you guys to all come up with really good, maybe fun jokes you could play on your classmates or your family. Remember, they're fun, they're not mean, right? And then Earth Day is April 22nd. And I was hoping to shout out some people on their birthdays, but I checked and there's no birthdays for March or April in our class, so oops. Okay, so that's our weekly snapshot. Okay, this next 2 pages goes through your kind of workload for the week, okay? So remember we said 2 hours of LA, 2 hours of math. And that doesn't mean per day, that's for the whole week, okay? So I've assigned a bunch of different activities and tasks for you guys to complete, and it is up to you guys now to schedule your time accordingly so it all gets done by the end of the week. Okay, so you notice for writing, we have 2 tasks this week. The first is a letter to teacher. So again, if I clicked on this link, it would take me to that Google Classroom assignment, okay? There's also a quarantine journal, which I will talk a little bit more about a little bit later, okay? So those are the 2 writing assignments this week. The letter to teacher is actually going to be due on Friday. The quarantine journal is something that will be done all month long, so it's not going to be due right away. So you can look at it today. You can certainly start working on it, but it's kind of intended to be a reflective piece. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but that's not intended to be finished in one day. Just like when we were at school, I expect you to be reading daily for at least 20 minutes, okay? So please remember to keep doing that. You can read a paper book, or this is a great use of using those other sites like Raz Kids or Tumble Books or whatever, right? The third task here is our new novel study that we are going to be starting. So Mrs. Au and I have been putting together a novel study for the book Holes by Louis Sachar. And I understand that we have a lot of closures right now, so sometimes you guys might not be able to get a copy of the book. Some of you guys might already have a paper copy at home like me, so can read along with that. Others might try to get one from Amazon or from Chapters. If I don't even know if Chapters are open, but you might try to get one. Or I have another solution. On our class website, so if you click again the link for the novel studies here, it will take you to our class website where I have attached an online version of the novel. Like literally the whole book is written online. And then I have also started recording my lovely voice reading the book to you. I've done the first 5 chapters, and I will be putting the whole book up on our site eventually. Okay, but the task for this week is just to read the first 3 chapters. Okay, so first 3 chapters starting out yet easy, 10 pages. You guys can do that in a week, no problem. Especially if you just listen to me read it to you, right? Finally, your last task for this week for LA is your weekly spelling, and you can also work on your daily language review, both of which are on this website here if you click onto that weekly spelling. Okay. For math, again, 2 hours a week, soft start like we said. So I want you to review the first 4 lessons of our fraction unit. So we have completed all of these in class already, but if you go to this fractions page on our website, it's going to do kind of a little bit of a breakdown of the first 4 lessons. You can also use your Coiled Math Makes Sense book, the one that looks like it's got a bear on the front of it. This is the textbook, but your Coiled book, so it's got coils, looks the same as that. You can work on those first 4 lessons as well, having a paper copy. Additionally, I put up a challenge Kahoot up on our website as well. So this is something that you guys can access whenever. And this week's challenge Kahoot is just practicing our basic multiplication facts. So just like we did Kahoot in the class, where you guys got to battle your teammate or your classmates, it's kind of the same deal, except you guys don't all have to be on at the same time. You guys can access it whenever. And then it will record how long you took to answer questions, and then that's how it uses you to have that friendly competition aspect. Okay, so that's that option. Also on our website, I put a numeracy challenge. You could also just click the link to go directly to the challenge there. You can also practice your, oops, sorry, I went to the wrong page already. You can also go onto this website, Web Math Minute, and practice your basic facts. Do a fraction scavenger hunt around your house. Or you can also go onto that online numeracy slide that we had already previously looked at and looked up any of these other activities. Okay. So that's LA and math for this week. And again, that is intended to be a week's worth of work. So please don't try to rush through it all in one day. Soft start, right? So that's math and LA. For social and for science, I just put up 2 things, one of which the Aboriginal language assignment. There's again, this is kind of intended to be over multiple weeks, so don't finish it this week necessarily. You can have next week to work on it too. There is a link on our classroom that you can visit. You have to watch a video, answer some questions, you have to read an article, answer some questions, and then you guys get to visit a website and actually listen to different Aboriginal languages, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's that. In terms of science for this week, science, we're keeping low key this week. You guys can go onto the science page of our class website and watch, there's 2 mystery sciences, one for last week and one for this week, so you can watch both of those. You can also start to look at our project called Twisted Toys. So I sent out a message before spring break about starting to collect some building materials. So you could see the letter to the parents for the suggested supplies, or you could start to maybe read the employee handbook that I put up there if you wanted an overview of the project. But again, we're not starting the project just yet. We are just kind of being introduced to the concepts and to making sure we have the supplies when we're ready to start building. Okay, so that's that. So that is kind of the overview of that. So if you're done with that, you can close this video right now. You don't have to watch my face anymore. The only other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about specifically is that quarantine journal. Okay, so I'm going to open it up right here, and I'm going to apologize to you guys because it's probably going to look all weird on my screen for a second because of how I'm using my screencast software. So it's taking you directly to the Google Classroom page, and look at all these shout outs to Cashlyn, shout out to Grayson, or to Harold, sorry, shout out to Hugo, awesome guys, already on here, love it. So I'm going to open the quarantine journal for us, okay? So again, and I only have 3 minutes left of casting, I'm sorry. This is intended to be a working document. So it's not intended to be finished in a day. It's supposed to kind of last you all month long. So I put a calendar initially at the very start of this as a way for you to kind of schedule your own time, okay? Because this is a new learning experience for us as teachers. It's also a new learning experience for you. So maybe we could use this opportunity to kind of grow in a way to structure our time and be responsible for making sure we achieve our goals. Okay, so just quickly on this first day, I put in our class hangout, I said prepare a joke maybe for the first, we'll see. And then I put some due dates in for the end of Friday. But this is your calendar to do with what you need to. Okay, so maybe you want to schedule your time. So on Tuesday, I have to do my fraction scavenger hunt. And on Thursday, I'm going to do my Kahoot challenge, okay? But that's for you guys to kind of figure out what you want to do on what days, okay? So that's that. If you go down, I've left some instructions here, but I want you guys to do this, and this will maybe help your family. Maybe you guys have already done this with your families last week or the week before, but coming up with a daily schedule for yourself, okay? So what are you going to do before 8:30? Maybe, like myself, I got up at 7 today, I took a shower, and then I took Nala for a walk so I could be ready to work at 8:30. Okay, so that would be in my time. And then at 8:30, I started to work, I started answering emails, and then maybe at 10 o'clock, I'm going to go have a fresh air break. Maybe I'm just going to go step outside, take Nala outside to pee. Okay, but I want you guys to schedule out your day. Okay, and think about not only what the activity is, so maybe schoolwork from 8:30 till 10, but also thinking about specific, oh, that's not schoolwork, I'm sorry guys. Good spelling, Miss King. So the to-do list, okay, so what are your goals for that time? So if you're doing schoolwork, what are you working on? Okay, what does it look like? Is it looking like you guys being distracted and playing games, or does it look like a quiet time, focused? Okay, so these are the activities that I would challenge you guys to put into your days. And then finally, this last part is kind of a check-in. So this is that stuff you're supposed to do daily. And so every Monday, at the end of today, answer these questions. What did you accomplish? What are your next steps? What did you learn? And what questions do you still have? My time's up, guys.